Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and open up the doors here in the live Zoom that we have going from Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. We are on dailywithDocZoom.com. So if you are catching one of our live streams or even a replay of one of our programs and you would like to join us live in our Zoom room, then you are more than welcome to. So if somebody sent this program or this show to you and they sent it to you for a purpose, something within today's program made them think of you. So folks, we are all about empowering individuals to make educated decisions based on what could be best for them using a more natural approach when it comes to health and wellness. So whether you are fit and fantastic and just want to stay that way, or not so much and you want to find a better health journey, we are here for you. We are Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, it is my honor and privilege to be able to make this as a resource to an amazing community of health coaches and associates that have a passion and a heart for people. They know the power of nutrition, and that's why they share it. So folks, we invite you to do the same thing. If you have a passion for people and want to help people, even if it's just, that idea of contributing just a little bit to somebody's life, that can make a huge impact that then spreads beyond that individual. Together, we can join a crusade that is changing lives. And the person that started this crusade 3 decades ago? Actually, beyond that, because he's figured out that nutrition had great importance when he was just a young child. And that just was the beginning of his journey in being able to figure out why poor health conditions existed, why those little idiosyncrasies in life, in health, existed, and was there something that could be done about it? And he found that in most cases, absolutely. So we want to make sure that you know that this program is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are our products or this program used to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases. But folks, the doctor that we have on with us, he and his legal team have sued the FDA 8 times and won, giving them the right to, one, for us to be able to say the importance of nutrition, but to mankind, period. And then to be able to force, because of research, okay? Not just saying, oh, this is good, you should do this. It's research, proof, scientific proof, clinical studies, proof, case reports, written and published, that are all going into the fact that there were nutrients that were missing from even our baby formulas that were forced to be put into those formulas, which then decreased the death rate and even so many different things. I'm going to let Doc tell you, but before I turn it over to him, folks, if you were invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and thank them for the information that you have heard in today's program. If there is nobody to thank, then we have an amazing team here with the Daily with Doc team that is available to those who have never tried the products before. And you can reach us by either calling 855-949-3377, 855-949-3377, or going to our website, dailywithdoc.com, and use that contact option. Now, on our website, there is a store where you will find all of the products that Dr. Wallach mentions and recommends for the different questions that come up in the programming. But again, if you were invited by somebody specific, or you're watching this or listening to this rather on a radio program, make sure that you get back with that radio station, because they took the time and felt that this information was important enough to broadcast it on their airwaves. So I just want to do a quick shout out to KSCO and KOMY listeners here in California, as they show up and are continuing to broadcast Daily with Doc on their airways. So I kind of have a special place in my heart for them, as that's where my program that I had personally was also broadcasted. So thank you so much to them, and to all of our different platforms that we are now on. AJ and I have worked really hard in making sure that we are meeting people where they're at, going and putting this message out and making it available so that we can reach an even larger audience. Because folks, you're not going to hear the information on this program very many places. Okay, so we're going to the places also that reduce the censorship of truth. That's all I can say. So without further ado, I think I got the disclaimers. Yeah. If you're on live with us and you'd like to ask a question, please make sure you go to that Zoom menu and raise your hand. After Dr. Wallach shares a little bit of information and gives a teaching, then we do go to hands and questions from the people that are joining us. If you are out on YouTube, I am able to see questions that come up. I have additional co-hosts on, because this is so fantastic, that are helping to watch those other platforms also. So if you have comments or questions, then please go ahead and feel free to write your questions. But I want to know where you're at. So first of all, let us know you're there and tell us where you are tuning in from. Okay? Even here on YouTube in the live Zoom. I'm sorry, on Zoom, in the live Zoom. Let us know where you're at so that we know how broad our reach is today. So without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to be able to present to you and provide to you the one, the only, who started out with a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, got the bug and went deeper into getting a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, which wasn't quite enough, because some of his findings that he in his studies led him and invited him to be part of an amazing adventure to save the white rhino. And with over almost 100 publications that have been published, and then his thesis in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. That's the diseases of exotic animals, which you and I are exotic animals, folks. How could this be just like happenstance? We are mammals with blood running through our veins and all the components and everything connected. So he has a little bit of knowledge on how that is, because he has 3 postdoctorates in pathology on 456 species, I think it is. And one of those species is like humans. So Dr. Joel Wallach, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Let me see where you went to, my friend. There you are.
Okay,
So,
I did become an naturopathic doctor.
I was getting there.
Oh.
Yeah. So you took all that information because there was like correlation. He started making recommendations to family and friends, and they started getting positive results. And then the correlation between the animal world and the human world was so great. He's like, well, I want to help humans too. So he was teaching nutrition at a naturopathic college when he decided, hey, why don't I just be one too? So I love the fact that he is a continual learner. I spend quite a bit of time with him throughout the week, and he is always doing research, going through books. I mean, you can't see his office, but the walls of his office that you can't see, it is books. There's boxes of books also. So he is always going through and finding information. And then, of course, the internet, getting more up-to-date information and different perspectives as well. So, Dr. Wallach, what do you have for us today?
Well, a lot of excitement, of course. When you're dealing with 80 countries and millions of people, there's lots of good stuff happening. So we're always very proud of that. And of course, we're dealing with a group now that has 38 other countries. And so we're working with them to have them join us. The upper echelon of this group has joined us. And so now we're getting the information down into their groups. And so within a month or two, we'll have 38 more countries joining us. So it's getting better and better and better because we've shown that what we're talking about is quite true. And so what I want to talk about a little bit here to begin with, we have created a new sort of entity, okay? Our organization, Certified Wholistic Health Coaches, okay? The Institute of Holistic Health. And of course, that goes back to Cheryl Morley, Paul Croto, and myself some years ago when we formed this because we knew we needed an army. We needed to be able to train them, everybody get the same training so they're not fighting amongst each other. And it just took off and went great. And I think we're just short of 1,000 of these health coaches right now. We're very, very proud of that. And so we're ready for the next generation. Okay, now we're not going to replace the health coaches, but we need to have, another generation with more training and more time to deal with what's going on. And so somebody by the name of Rebecca was pioneering and making sure this is happening correctly. And it's a program called coachwithdoc.com. Okay. And it goes into the four main groups of human diseases: hard tissue, okay, soft tissue, blood sugar, and digestion. Well, that sounds pretty simple, but it covers 600 different diseases. Okay. And so you'll learn about these four areas of health and how they are impacted by nutrient deficiencies and how they're irreversible, but supplementation and changing diet and so forth. And so with doc.com, let's see here. This is I'm going to turn this piece over to you for just a little bit here so you can give me the details of coachwithdoc.com. How often is that on? How do people get to it and what's going on?
So coachwithdoc.com shares information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach course and how you can get started and educated as well, folks. So we have created a very affordable health coach program that is about a fifth of the price of some of the leading programs out there that just basically they teach you how to listen. They help you set up a website and then you're done. Okay. A little bit about nutrition, but in their programs, you're not even allowed to recommend how much water to drink. All right. And it's pretty crazy to spend $6,000 for something and get that title of health coach and not even be able to help people with their diet. It's basically make recommendations as far as deep breathing, maybe a little bit on diet, but as far as supplementation to fill those gaps, that's not something that they are able to do. And in our program, not only do we go through the four areas of health, as Dr. Wallach mentioned, but how they're linked to over 600 different diseases when there are deficiencies. And then because our program is all about solutions, we also share solutions using Dr. Wallach's formulas to those deficiencies. So it's an amazing course. It's all online. You can plug in at your own pace. It's great, especially for those that are visual learners and love to go through and listen to the lectures. You can stop them, you can go back, you can listen again. There are several different modules and there's some tests. And then at the end, you become a certified holistic health coach, but it doesn't stop there because we have a community with continued support. And that's one of the biggest pieces of the Institute of Holistic Health is, folks, you're not in this alone. So whether you're just doing it for your own health or you want to go in and make an impact in helping your family, your community, and then of course, all together, we make an impact around the world, then check out coachwithdoc.com. And that will take you to Dr. Wallach's page that shares about the coach course.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for the detail. And we're very excited here. And has the trigger already been pulled? I mean, can people join now?
Oh, absolutely, Dr. Wallach. Absolutely. I've tested your site. Everything works just perfectly. So we invite everybody to go check out coachwithdoc.com. Now, if you are referred to somebody through this program and they are a certified holistic health coach, make sure that you get back with them and say, hey, how come you haven't shared that information about this coaching program? You're a great coach, but I want more information as well so that I can be a great coach with you. So make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you and let them know that you want to get more information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach course offered by the Institute of Holistic Health.
Okay, now Rebecca, this is coachwithdoc.com. Is that kind of on a schedule, like once a week or?
No, it's there 24/7, Dr. Wallach.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like having you're open for business 24/7 and sharing information that allows people to plug in when the time is right for them and get the information about the course and also sign up. And even better, there's a payment plan. So sometimes we don't want to or aren't able to pay for something all in one lump sum. There's a payment plan that's offered with this as well.
Okay, well, thank you for fixing all that up. And just a reminder that there's some 600 different diseases that are related to nutritional deficiencies in human beings. And it's one of those things where the medical system doesn't get much teaching in the area of nutrition. They get taught about disease and symptoms and how to treat the symptoms. And so they come at this a little bit differently than what we do. And for instance, with Alzheimer's disease, it's a deficiency of one type of tissue in the brain. Okay, we spend each year in America just to treat the symptoms, $345 billion a year, just to treat the symptoms. Okay, MS and Guillain-Barré syndrome with multiple sclerosis, again, one tissue in the brain and spinal cord, $85 billion a year. Parkinson's disease, $52 billion a year. That's really not only one type of tissue, but focused in one sort of parameter of the brain, very, very distinct. Okay, $52 billion a year, that's billion. FTD, frontal temporal dementia, $7.28 billion a year. And this is kind of a little piece of Alzheimer's disease because it's a functional in 3 parts of the brain, whereas Alzheimer's disease can be anywhere. Okay, and then Lou Gehrig's disease, aka ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, is what do we have here? $1.02 billion a year. All that together, we spend $490 billion, almost $500 billion a year, just to treat the symptoms of a bunch of nutritional deficiency diseases. There are no genetic diseases. There are no autoimmune diseases. That's all nonsense, okay? And so when you look at arthritis, which is the big boy, financially, $626.8 billion a year just to treat the symptoms. When you throw in osteoporosis, we spend $2.3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis. When you have osteoporosis and arthritis put in the same bucket, we're spending $3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis. $3 trillion a year for something you can get rid of in weeks and months with a nutritional program, okay? This is really sinister. Okay, heart disease, $316.8 billion. Obesity, $260 billion. Skin issues, $75 billion. Cancer, $190 billion. Heart, excuse me, high blood pressure, $131 billion. MS, we already talked about MS, $85 billion. Asthma in kids under the age of 10, $80 billion. Let's see here. We also have kidney dialysis, 24 billion. All of these can be resolved so we don't have to spend all this money for those kinds of things. And so we can spend more money on things to do to add healthful, really high quality life to your family and your friends, your church mates and workmates and neighbors and so forth. And so we encourage you to check out coachwithdoc.com and join us, because we're kicking this off now this week. And so we're very excited about it. And because we've already had a lot of great feedback. And so again, we're going to be talking about the basic 4 areas of health. But we're not just talking about, well, we're talking about skin today. No, we're getting down into the basic dirty details of skin diseases and what they are and so forth. So you're going to know what you're talking about. You're going to know what programs to attach to these individuals who come to you with these problems. Okay. And so I urge you to become, one of our certified holistic health coaches, but also in addition, just like I've got, let's see, I've got 3 degrees, and I don't know how many postdoctoral fellowships, 3 of which are in pathology. Yeah, pathology. And I'm the guy who got rid of cystic fibrosis, supposed to be one of the worst terrible diseases, birth defects. I'm the guy who got rid of muscular dystrophy, and Jerry Lewis. I just thank the Lord that before he died, he knew that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. And then they fired him when he took that to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They summarily fired Jerry Lewis, put a gag order on him, federal gag order, so he couldn't say anything to anybody. And the next day, that was September 4th, 2011. The next day, September 5th, 2011, they shut down the telethon, and he had earned $2.6 billion for them. $2.6 billion for them, okay, with his telethon over a 46-year period. And they just shut it down because they didn't like the fact that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure for muscular dystrophy. And so that tells you a lot about that organization. They should have been overjoyed. And they said, okay, well, prove it to us. Well, they didn't. They just fired Jerry Lewis, put a gag order on him, and shut down the telethon. That doesn't sound right to me. Okay, so with all that, when it comes down to longevity, we're supposed to have the best doctors in the world. Medical doctors. Our life expectancy in America is 75. Life expectancy in Hunza with no medical doctors is 120. This is well documented. This is not mishmash stuff. This is actual, well documented. And that's because the Hunzas live in the land flowing with milk and honey. That's biblical. Goes back over 3,000 years ago. They didn't know all the details because they didn't know about all the science and all that kind of stuff 3,000 years ago in the Old Testament. But they did know that there are places on earth where people lived a long time. Okay. And there are 21 stories in the Old Testament. Some of them are 2 paragraphs, some of them are 2 or 3 pages, telling stories about long-lived people. Like Adam lived to be 930, Noah lived to be 950, Methuselah lived to be 969. There were many, many people running around telling the story of God, and they lived to be 800, 700, 600, 500, because they were working in the area flowing with milk and honey. It was glacial milk, not cow's milk, not goat's milk, but glacial milk, ground up rocks. And the ground up rock flour looked white in the water, and so that's why they thought it was milk, because they didn't have the ability to analyze it, okay? But they knew that in those places, people lived a long time. And so this is, when you get the books, Immortality, you get the book Epigenetics, you get the book It's All in Your Head, you get the book Rare Earth Spin Cures, and it gives you the details. I'm going fast, I know. Gives you the details of what to do to add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. Just think about it. Just by changing your diet and adding a few vitamins and minerals to your health program, you can add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. Okay. And so I'm very, very proud of that. And of course, we have 5-star generals. In fact, Rebecca just became a 3-star, and young Jay, we're very proud of her for doing that. That takes a lot of work. She works day and night, so I don't know how she gets it all done, but she became a 3-star. We're just so proud of her, and she carries that on. I know she works day and night because she's working a lot in Europe and Africa and Asia and so forth, and so the time difference. So I don't know when she sleeps. because she's working constantly.
Not enough, Dr. Wallach, not enough, but I've got a great team, so that makes things a little easier. Um, and I just want to thank you, Dr. Wallach, for sharing more about the health coach course that's offered by the Institute of Holistic Health. And something that you said that I wanted to point out, kind of emphasize a little bit. In the United States, where we have or are supposed to have the greatest medical system, our life expectancy is 75, 78, 75.
75.
Planned without the technology, with very few doctors, they're living to 120 plus.
Yeah, many live to be 130, 140, 150.
And that just does not quite make sense, does it, folks? The more technology, the more research, the more chemicals that you add into a system, and you have decline. So let's go back to nature. Let's let the body do what it was designed to do. And the only way that it can do that is if it's getting those minerals, those nutrients into it so that it can utilize them. And then can you over nutriate, Doc? I'm sure you can in some areas.
Well, you can. There's some of the minerals or some of the vitamins you can take too much of and get some symptoms. That's true even oxygen. You can breathe too much oxygen and get problems. You can drink too much water and get problems. Okay. We have a range. And if you are in that range on all the things we need, whether it's oxygen, whether it's water, whether it's vitamins, amino acids, fatty acids, and minerals, and let's say the range is this big and you're in the middle here or towards this end, towards that end, in the middle, you're okay. Okay. Because if you're getting 100% of what you need from different places, it totals up 100% of what you need, you're good to go. If you get 110%, you're good to go. You get 120%, you're good to go. Some nutrients, like vitamin C, if you take too much vitamin C, you get diarrhea. You'll know you're taking too much, you get diarrhea. Okay.
That's what it means when they say take to bowel tolerance, folks.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So, but the one thing that I like about the formulas that you have been instrumental in putting together is it's not just one of this, one of that, and creating an imbalance within the body. They're synergistically blended with cofactors that help the body to be able to utilize those nutrients better. And best of all, they're in a form of that nutrient that the body can actually absorb, not just push through the digestive system.
Okay, well, I'm just going to throw one piece in here because I want people breathlessly waiting. We are coming out with a case report on one case of Parkinson's disease. And it really goes into a little bit of history, a lot of good results and predictions and so forth. Now, this is a case report. Now, this is how things start in the medical system, in science. There's one case report, and then people say, I don't like that. I'm going to challenge it. Some people say, I like it. I'm going to use it, and so forth. And that starts things going, as opposed to everybody just sitting around the bar drinking beer and arguing about it. So that's why we're doing a case report and getting it published in the Certified Health Coaches. Is it their journal? Is it their?
Yeah, it's a journal.
It's a journal. Okay, it's a scientific journal. And so we're very, very proud to have this case report in there. And we're just going through the final editing at this point. And so I know it's coming out here pretty quick. And so it'll be available. We'll let you know when it's available. Okay?
Absolutely. And just as a heads up, because I know we have many coaches that are listening that are on live with us, as you are having people that you are working with, those clients, and they start taking Dr. Wallach's protocols and you start seeing those results, you have that health evaluation, which is an amazing tool that we use within the course, that you can help to monitor their progress. So as you have somebody that is having amazing results in their progress using Dr. Wallach's protocols, make sure that you get with me. For those of you who do not know, I'm I'm the director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health. And we can include your client's case study in that journal that can then be used to help many thousands and thousands more. So are you ready to take some questions? Because we have hands up and we have questions, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so the first question that's coming to us, and this is one on YouTube. The question is, can color blindness be corrected?
Okay. In many cases, yes. Okay, because again, you have the optic nerve is designed in the brain. It goes along with the optic artery and the optic vein into the back of the eye, into the macula. Okay, and you can lose your color vision, you can lose your vision, all kinds of stuff going on. Macular degeneration, go blind. You can be night blind. You're okay during the day, but when it started getting dark, you can't see anything. There's all kinds of things going on there, and so we do have the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. We have the Occutive to add to that. We have the Synaptive, which helps all the brain cells talk to each other, including the optic nerve and the macula in the eye. And then we also have, let's see here. It said the collagen peptides. Okay. Okay. I think that covered the eye.
Yep. All right. The next question, Dr. Wallach, is we had Coach Jay on with us just a few days ago, and she's 4 months pregnant. At the age of 40 and 223 pounds, what is your foundation recommendation for somebody who is with child at 223 pounds? She's 5'9" and ages 40, 4 months pregnant. No health concerns. So, I'm sorry?
44 months?
No, she's 40 years old,
Yeah.
4 months pregnant.
4 months pregnant. Okay, if you say 44 months, that's a long pregnancy.
She's overdue, Doc.
Okay, 4 months pregnant. So about halfway through the pregnancy. So the baby's already formed. So if there's a nutritional deficiency, there could be some birth defects in there, either in the biochemistry or actual cells and tissues and organs and stuff like that. We don't know that. And if they have an MRI, you can see some of the big things. Okay, you just have to wait and see, but it's never too late to do something good. And so at 220 pounds, we just keep our fingers crossed and hope and pray that she was taking the prenatal vitamins, okay, and minerals. We hope she was doing that. And if she hasn't, she needs to jump on that right away, especially if she plans on breastfeeding this baby. And so, if she quickly, she could take, I'd start out with 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month, take a half a dose of everything twice a day. And then I would also have her take the MSM 1 bottle a month. So she take 2-3 times a day. That's going to help with cartilage and ligaments and tendons and skin and blood vessels and all that kind of stuff. When connective tissue, it talks about the globe of the eye, the heart valves, all kinds of stuff people don't think about require these nutrients. And when the baby's born with a problem, the mama wasn't supplementing. And so the baby got shorted. And so the baby came out with problems. Okay, that's how birth defects occur. They're not a genetic thing. They are nutritional deficiencies. So this is something she can actually get an MRI, non-radiation, no x-rays or anything like that, and get a status report on that embryo, see if there's any problems. So we might be able to highlight certain nutrients. But in the meantime, it wouldn't hurt for her to talk to her OBGYN and, get an MRI and also find out what she needs to do nutritionally to maximize the health of this embryo and make sure, especially if she's going to be breastfeeding that baby, she needs to be getting this stuff. If she's not going to breastfeed the baby, she needs to get the infant formulas, which we have won court cases on to get all the nutrients in, which include Enfamil, Similac. We also have a kids toddy, which is our baby formula, Kids Toddy. I like to add some of the, based on the body weight, some of the liquid plant minerals to it. I also like to add the EFAs to it. And so you just, so much needs to be done here because we don't know the answers to all the questions I'd like to ask.
Well, we know that she has been on the program. She is one of our amazing coaches. And I just want to say congratulations, Coach Jake, on your pregnancy. So we know that she's going to have a healthy body
Okay.
and a healthy baby. She
Well,
just
yeah,
wants to make sure she's taking the right amounts.
yeah, well, she was, she was taking our products. That's fine, according to her body weight. Okay, and of
All
course,
right.
the baby goes from an environment inside the mother's uterus. When the baby's born, the baby's already 9 months old. Baby's already 9 months old when the baby's born. Okay.
9 months of development, and if you go full term.
Yeah.
If you go. So, all right. Thank you so much for that. Hope that was helpful, Jay. And next question, Dr. Wallach, we're going to go here with a hand up, and we have Deborah. Deborah, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Doug. Hello, Becca, and everyone. Hello. My question is, I don't know a lot about this gentleman. Just started talking with him, but he's 83 years old. Don't have a weight on him, but he has ulcers in his leg, and I think it's from a vein stripping he may have had done. Either that, it was bypassed. So I don't know which one it was, but he's got ulcers in his leg that is not healing.
Okay. We don't know his weight.
I don't.
Okay, let's go per 100 pounds of body weight. Okay. So needs to get rid of all the bad foods to maximize absorption. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, barley, brown oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and carbonated water because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. And then per 100 pounds of body weight, I'm to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. If he weighs 150 pounds, it'd be 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, but per 100 pounds be 1. And then, of course, based on body weight, you divide whatever he's taken into half. So he's taking half of the dose at breakfast, half the dose at dinner time. Then he also needs the MSM per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle a month. So you can take 3 twice a day, and that's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself. Also needs the, I would throw in the collagen peptides. It's good with that, the morning drink, good with the evening drink, because their skin, 2/3 of the skin thickness is collagen. Okay, the same stuff that cartilage is made out of, and tendons and ligaments. So you need all that collagen from the collagen peptides and the MSM to help improve the skin. But also, we want the, let's see here, I would throw in let's see here, hair, skin, and nails. You could take 2 bottles a month of that. They're tiny little bottles, so you can take 3 twice a day. The hair, skin, and nails, it's going to help do that. And if you have open ulcers, we do have the colloidal silver. There's no alcohol in it. You can wet a cotton ball and put the wet cotton ball on the ulcer while he's watching TV for 15 minutes or so, and keep it wet with that colloidal silver. There's, again, no alcohol in it. It's not going to burn, but it will actually kill bacteria, fungus, and yeast and stuff like that may be involved in that. There may be other issues. Okay, he may have stuff going on in his back and his brain, causing nerve stuff to go on. Okay, and all this stuff is downstream from wherever the problem really is. The problem may be really on his brain as opposed to down where you're looking at it, where he's got the ulcer in the leg. Okay, just like how many times a night does he wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, none. He's waking up once or 3 times or 5 times a night to urinate. The odds are the skull is squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling the urinary bladder to urinate. And doctors say, oh, you have a prostate issue. We need to do a biopsy of the prostate because he's urinating so much at night. Well, if it's a girl who's urinating 3 to 5 times a night, you can't take a biopsy for a prostate gland because girls don't have prostate glands. So what's going on here? Well, that's because it's the skull squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, and the spinal cord telling the urinary bladder to urinate, and that's why that goes on. So those are the sort of things. So you may, if you don't have one, you may want to get a hold of this book and CD set. It's all in your head. It goes into the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, goes into the spinal cord. 37 different diseases are caused by osteoporosis of the skull. And doctors are not taught them in school. They're not taught anything about this. When this book came out, doctors laughed and slapped their knee. They just thought this was the craziest thing they ever heard of. Okay. Osteoporosis only occurs in the leg bones. No, that's nonsense. It occurs in the skull, the vertebrae, every bone in your body. Okay. So it's one of those things where we had to come out with the information. The only way we could do it, and which I say, so everybody gets the same information, was make that little book and the CD. So it's myself and Rebecca and Dr. Milan, the three of us put together this package of the book and the CD.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Keep us informed, will you?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Deborah.
All right. Thank you, Deborah and Dr. Wallach. We've got a lot of nice comments that are out coming in from YouTube and some of the other platforms. And one of them says, just imagine the dedication it takes to practice in 3 different fields of medicine. So Dr. Wallach, you've got a lot of dedication and you're 84 years old. You could have retired a long time ago, just kick back by the pool, put your feet up, not do anything. But no, you have dedicated your whole life to helping people. So I know I appreciate that. And then another comment here says that, the pharmaceutical industry is trying to block our information, which is very true. There's some platforms that we've chosen not to get on because of blocking. And every time we go live on some of these programs, some of these channels, we take that risk of having that video taken down. Well, folks, that's one of the reasons why we have decided to go on multiple different platforms, including Brighteon and Patreon, and Spotify. We're on Spotify now, and Amazon Music, and Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. I have 13 here. What did I forget? So we are out on using Simplecast and Riverside FM, Radio Public, Castbox, Google Podcast, Instagram. So if you are on any of those programs, make sure that you go and look up Daily with Doc. So on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, we are still Critical Health or Critical Health News. But on these other platforms, we are Daily with Doc, making it easy for you to find us. So, Dr. Wallach, let's go to Sherry, who has her hand up. Sherry, go ahead and unmute yourself. And I know you have a great question for Dr. Wallach as well, plus additional supporting information if you have questions, Doc.
Thank you very much. This is for a 69-year-old female. She's 5'3". She weighs 112 pounds. Some years ago, her appendix burst and it was found to be cancerous. They removed the appendix, and after removal of the appendix, they performed a HIPEC, HIPEC procedure. HIPEC procedure. And I can tell you if you'd
tell
like.
them real quick what that procedure is, Sherry.
Okay, let me pull that up real quick. The HIPEC procedure surgery involves delivering high doses of chemotherapy into the abdomen to treat cancer that has spread beyond the organ from which it originated. Mm-hmm. So she currently suffers abdominal neuropathy and osteopenia. Current tests show her vitamin D levels are too high and her vitamin B levels are too high. She takes a lot of vitamins. Any suggestions?
Okay. The high vitamin D and high vitamin B levels, I wouldn't be too concerned about that because the doctors think if you have any of those vitamins, you have too high. Okay. And so I'm not real eager to jump on that. But at any rate, what I would add to her program is her MSM. Okay. And if she's not taking it, our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, okay, get the blood circulation going. Our MSM, that helps build the bone marrow, which is your immune system, the white blood cells and antibodies and platelets and red blood cells, all that kind of stuff. And so somebody who, per 100 pounds of body weight I'd have her take the I go ahead and take those supplements per 100 pounds of body weight as on the label, okay? And that's going to help with the immune system. And that's why I like the MSM, because it helps make white blood cells. It gets the bone marrow working properly, okay? And this will be one of her best friends, okay?
She doesn't take our products yet. Which of our products, such as the pack, would you recommend?
Okay, and per 100 pounds of body weight, I have her take one Healthy Brain and Heart pack per month. I had to have her take the MSM per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 bottle a month, 3 twice a day, collagen peptides. And then again, I would have her take some colloidal silver. That'll deal with infections and that kind of stuff going on. Droppers fall under her tongue before meals and before bedtime. There's no alcohol in it, so it doesn't have any of those kind of issues. And so let's start there. And, as we go along here, we need constant feedback so we know how to tweak things and make sure she's getting the best benefit, okay?
Thank you very much.
You bet.
All right, thank you, Sherry and Dr. Wallach. We have just a couple more minutes. We have another question. Get all of these places all in the right place. So we have another question, Dr. Wallach, wanting to know, is it possible to help somebody? So you have helped people with Down syndrome in the past. The question was, once they've been born, can you reverse Down syndrome? What is your answer to that?
We can get rid of the clinical symptoms. They still look like a Down syndrome person. They still have that look, okay? But we can get rid of the symptoms. I have several cases where they're adults, they're in their 30s and 40s, and they had all the suppression of brain skills and all this kind of stuff. So taking the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and the Synaptive and the I-26 and get rid of all the bad foods, they were able to get jobs and get a PhD degree at the university and get jobs at high-tech stuff. And yet they still look like a Down syndrome person, okay?
So we're able to help them in supporting their body as the whole.
And become more functional.
Yep, through supplementation to be the best that they absolutely possibly can be.
That's correct. Because again, when you have Down syndrome, it's actually one little narrow wedge of the brain system that's affected. And so if you deal with all the other parts of the brain and make them happy, then they kind of outweigh the few bad things from the Down syndrome. But they're still going to look like a Down syndrome person, but yet they can get a PhD degree from Harvard, okay, because their intelligence comes back.
So folks, if you know somebody with Downs and they're interested in helping their or that their family is interested in helping them be the best that they absolutely can be, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you, or you can go to, if there's nobody that shared this program with you and you know somebody and you would like to get some more information, because we are not a one size fits all. What you would give a child is not the same as what you would give an adult. So everything is based on weight, which is one thing that Dr. Wallach is very, very adamant about, because what a 25-pound-year-old toddler would need, I would need a lot more than that. It just makes sense. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. You can go to dailywithdoc.com. If there is nobody that shared this program with you, you've never spoken to anybody about Dr. Wallach, his protocols, or the products that he represents. And let us know where you're at, what your interest is, who you would like to help. We need to have that additional information so that we can make sure that things are tailored to the individual. We use Dr. Wallach's products, we use his teachings, and if we don't know exactly what the answer is already, we have the man himself that we have access to. I think that's one of the biggest bonuses, Dr. Wallach, of what we do at the Institute of Holistic Health is not only are you one of the 3 co-founders of the program, you are still very much involved in the training.
Well, we're family. We're family. And of course, I enjoy every minute of that because I just see all this this beautiful look in people's faces when they're learning something to help others. It's a very special look. And I see it. I can see when they hit that point that they've got it. They understand it, that point. And to me, that's a blessing. And and I knew I had to raise an army 50 years ago. I said, I can't do this by myself. I need an army. And so we came up with all these various programs, including the health coaches.
And folks, there's no age limit. If you're a teenager, as long as you have permission of your folks and, some type of funding to help you pay for it, you can get involved. Start early. The earlier you start teaching about nutrition and how to help the body, think of all of the pain that you can potentially prevent for the future. So moms, dads, let's get our kids on a program to help them be able to be the best that they possibly can be further into the future without having to even consider looking at chemicals to mask symptoms. We're all about that root cause and addressing that underlying reason why things happen. Well, Dr. Wallach, I know that you have to leave us. Our time with you is up. So thank you once again for being here with us on Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you
Appreciate
and all your team. We love you, gals and guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Monday
Bye-bye.
through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m., folks, Pacific time. Thank you again, Dr. Wallach. And if I could get my co-hosts up with me. And I know there were some questions that we didn't quite get to. Another comment that I thought was absolutely great is, all the research that's being done and the money spent and having no improvement. So they're able to prolong life. But folks, if you're prolonging a life that's full of pain and agony and dis-ease, what type of livelihood do you think that individual is going to have further into life? The body can do amazing things. It is continually generating cells. The more nutrition it has as it's generating those cells, the better the outcome. It's just common sense, the whole cause and effect. You take something away and you expect something to be able to thrive, it just doesn't happen. So let's not take anything away. Let's make sure that everything is there in our daily intake of nutrients. And this is not replacing food, but folks, our food is null and void of the nutrition that our bodies need. So with a proper diet and eliminating those things that are actually causing harm within the body, because there are quite a few of them, we can make a huge impact in creating a healthier world. I want to do a shout out to my co-hosts. I have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who is my executive production manager. She helps to organize everything, make sure everything is set up, and helps me with training for all of my co-hosts. Also, I have my assistant executive production manager, who is, or the assistant to the production manager. I'm not quite sure what the appropriate word is, but he is also our social media manager and helping us get on all of these platforms and making sure that all of our connections are great. Thank you, AJ, for doing that. We have Marilyn Pizzera, who with her amazing dictation skills, which is one of the benefits of being here live with us, folks. You get to see exactly what Dr. Wallach is recommending in print, where HIPAA prevents us from being able to share this out on the different channels. Here in the YouTube, we do have that option available that you can take a picture or a screenshot of what Dr. Wallach has recommended for somebody or yourself, and then take that to your coach and say, hey, this is what Dr. Wallach says I need. Can you help me get it? And absolutely, the person that referred you to this program probably can help you get it.
Here
If they can't, what?
it's assumed that they can do that. You said YouTube.
Oh,
Wanted to make sure we had it right.
see, that's why I need support, folks, because I am only human. So yes, on Zoom, Daily with Doc, zoom.com is where you can see that chat. So thank you, Marilyn, for all you do with that. You are greatly appreciated. And, you know, the way YouTube is, or Zoom is set up, we now have to have a waiting room. So everybody gets let in individually. And there's purposes for that waiting room. We've actually encountered some of the reasons, and we appreciate having that waiting room. But we couldn't let everybody in the waiting room if it wasn't for people like Sherry and Coach Rod and Albert, who are doing double and triple duty because they're also watching cameras to make sure it's a safe place. They're also out on these different platforms. And as somebody has questions, they get those questions to me, or they ask on behalf of those individuals asking the questions. We want to make sure that all of your questions get answered. So folks, if we didn't get to your question today, make sure you go to our website, dailywithdoc.com, sign up for our newsletter. As you sign up, there is an option there where you can submit your questions. As those come in, then I would love it if you would let us know if you are already working with somebody. Then I can make sure that we get the information to the person that you're working with, and the two of you can work together in getting the products that Dr. Wallach would recommend specifically for you based on your condition. Okay. And if you're not working with anybody, let us know that too. And we also have that contact option on our website. As you send emails in, make sure that you include what concerns you have, include the weight, age, height. If you have any conditions that are being controlled by a pharmaceutical, let us know, because folks, you still have the condition. It's just being masked by a pharmaceutical. There's an underlying cause to it. Why let that underlying cause continue to be there? Let's work together to make this the best health journey you absolutely possibly can. And if you'd like to join us on this crusade, make sure you let us know that as well. So again, if you're interested in the coaching program, you can go to coachwithdoc.com, find out more information about that there. And AJ, you had a concerned look on your face and shaking your head. So did I say something? Oh, all's good. All right, fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Until next time, bye for now.
Recording stop.